What happens if you pay rent late, and how to avoid late fees forever. Rent's due on the 1st, your paycheck lands on the 5th. That gap? It's not laziness, and it's not bad budgeting, it's a timing problem. But here's the thing. What actually happens if you can't cover rent in time isn't as scary or as simple as most people think. Let's break down what really happens when rent is late, and more importantly, what you can do about it before it turns into a bigger problem. So your rent's late. What happens first? Most leases include a grace period, usually somewhere between 3 and 5 days, before a late fee kicks in. Once that window closes, landlords typically charge a flat fee or a percentage of rent, often in the range of $50 to $100, though this varies a lot by state and by lease. Around the same time, most landlords are required to send a written notice, sometimes called a pay or quit notice, letting you know rent is overdue. That notice is not the start of eviction. It's the start of a paper trail. And that distinction matters because a lot of renters hear notice and panic, thinking it means they're about to lose their home. That's not what's happening yet. Grace periods aren't guaranteed everywhere. They're set by your lease, and in some states by law. Some states require landlords to offer one, others leave it entirely up to what's written in your lease. So the first thing to do, if you think you might be late, pull up your lease and look for the words grace period or late fee. It's usually right there in black and white. If your grace period has already passed, that doesn't mean it's too late to fix things. It just means the clock on fees and notices has started. What you do next matters more than the fact that you missed the original date. Now, the word everyone's actually scared of, eviction. Here's what a lot of people get wrong. One late payment does not always equal an eviction. Eviction is a legal process and it takes time. It usually starts with that notice we just talked about, then moves to a filing in court. If rent still isn't paid, then a hearing, and only after all of that, a possible eviction order. Depending on the state, that whole process can take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months. That's not to say it isn't serious, it is. But there's a real gap between my rent is late and I'm being evicted. And that gap is exactly where you have room to communicate, plan, and fix things. Here's something people don't always think about. Late rent doesn't just cost you in fees. It can follow you. A pattern of late payments can strain your relationship with your landlord and, in some cases, show up in your rental history for future applications. On the flip side, on-time rent can actually work in your favor. Flex, for example, reports on-time payments to credit unions, so paying rent consistently through Flex can be one part of building your credit, not just a bill you're trying to survive every month. So if you're staring down a late rent payment right now, here's what actually helps. First, talk to your landlord before the due date, not after. Most landlords respond better to renters who communicate early. Second, know your grace period and your fees. No surprises. Third, if the real issue is timing, rent's due before your paycheck lands. That's a solvable problem. Tools like Flex let you split your rent into smaller payments that line up with when you actually get paid, so you're not choosing between rent and your other bills. And if this is more than a timing issue, if you're genuinely in a tough spot, there is help. Local housing organizations, 211.org and rental assistance programs exist for exactly this. Rent on your schedule, not just the first. If a few days gap between your paycheck and your rent due date is the real problem, check out Flex. Links in the description. It's not about spending more. It's about paying on your terms and getting a little more peace of mind each month. Visit getflex.com for more info.